If you ride with me, you gotta work for the both of us. I'll put you in the driver's seat. Don't gotta hurry in the love.
What's up, my LV besties? Welcome back to another video. My name is Candy, and if you're new here, thank you so very much for joining my channel. And if you are not new here, thank you so very much for jumping back onto another video. So I just want to first start off by saying thank you so very much for clicking on this video and helping support my channel, because every single thing that you guys do helps my channel grow, and it helps me to be able to create more content for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys my bag of the video. So here it is. It is the Samure bag. I showed her not too long ago. She is a newer release, and she is adorable and precious and any other word that relates to cute. So I love that she has a back pocket, just adorable. Okay, bag of the video, the Samure bag. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to talk serious. Not really. So as you guys have seen in the title, this video is over the handbags that caused drama with my husband. Okay? So before I get started, I just want you guys to know, this is all out of fun. Okay? I am not bad-mouthing my husband. I am not making fun of him. I am not doing anything but making a fun video. However, these stories are true. Okay? So I just want to say that before you guys come at me with your poor husband and all of this stuff, because again, this is out of fun, but this stuff is absolutely hilarious. Okay. So I was actually talking to my friend earlier about some of the things that has happened along the way of my bag buying journey, and hers as well. And so her and I were talking tonight, and we're like, some of these stories need to be told, because some of these stories you can't make up, right? Like, well, none of these are made up, but like, you can't make these things up, okay? So I don't know about you guys, but my husband is really not into handbags. Well, let me rephrase that. He's not into handbags at all. Period. Zero. Okay? Has he bought me handbags in the past? He has. But it would be for an occasion, and that's only because I probably begged. I'm totally joking. Anyways, he is not, no, this is just not his thing. It's just not. And that's okay, because I don't want it to be his thing, because then he would want to buy the things and they're too expensive. So only one of us can buy these things, and I want to be the one. Okay. So yeah, he can have other interests in life. Handbags are mine. So I want to share with you some of the funny things and the trauma that has been involved with buying handbags, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start with my Speedy 25. I believe this came from the ski collection in 2022. I might be wrong, but I'm just not good with remembering dates. I'm just really not. But anyways, let me tell you guys how this bag came about. Okay? Okay. So, this is not funny at all. But do you guys remember when my Challenger, my Hellcat at that, got stolen from the North Park Mall in Dallas? Well, it's a day I will never forget, because that was a day that tore me up inside. As most of you don't, I don't like thieves. So, and I loved my car. I really did. That was like my favorite car. It's always been my favorite kind of car since they came out with the Challengers. We had went to the mall and shopped around all day long. We had actually been in the Louis Vuitton store, and we were talking to one of the sales associates, and he had told us about how his truck had gotten stolen a few weeks ago from there, and it was actually stolen on his birthday. And we were like, oh gosh, that's horrible. That's terrible, but never thought anything else past it. Well, he didn't ever say like that cars were stolen there all the time or anything like that. So, we just continued the conversation, and I continued to shop and shop. So anyway, I'm just taking my time, shopping around. My daughter was actually on a field trip with the school, and they were at Six Flags. So the reason we had even went to Dallas, honestly, in the first place, was because My daughter was going to be there at Six Flags, like I said, and she gets sick on amusement park rides. So I told my husband, I said, let's just go up for the day and shop around. And in case she gets sick, we can go over and pick her up. And that way she's not sitting there miserable. And also so they don't have to bring her back on the bus sick. Okay. So we decided to go to the mall. And I decided to hang out in the Louis Vuitton store for a good long time. But that wasn't the only thing I did. I mean, we did shop around at the mall. We did, okay? So it was getting about that time for them to leave Six Flags. So I told my husband, let's go ahead and go, because we also had to be back in time to pick her up from school because she wasn't driving at the time. So we were headed out of the mall and into the parking lot to where my car was parked. My husband notices a car that looks just like mine, so we think, headed out of the mall parking lot really fast. And then there was a Dodge Charger following it. They just like sped off. So my husband was like, oh my God, that looks like your car. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Here the poor guy is. He's carrying along these sacks of Louis Vuitton. They're huge. They're not small sacks, you guys. So he's carrying them along because my back hurts, so I can't. And he starts hitting the unlock button on our remote, and we hear nothing. And I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, I think that was my car. So as we got to where I had parked, we just noticed the window was laying in the parking spot. So they had knocked out my window and stole my car that way. So had we been out about 30 minutes or an hour before, even maybe 25, 15 minutes, I don't know, because I don't know how long it takes to steal a car. But had we been out a little sooner, then my car would have not gotten stolen. But we did it. So, of course, my husband is just furious, because I took way too long in the Louis Vuitton store. Okay. Anyways, of course, valet parking didn't see anything. We called mall security. We then called the police department. Mall security came, took report. The police department called us for a report. They never showed up because this is just a minor thing that happens in Dallas, and it happens all the time. And come to find out, it happens a whole lot at the North Park Mall. So Dallas folks, or if you're coming in to visit, just keep that in mind. Since my car has been stolen, we have heard about many people having their car stolen from North Park. Anyways, so nobody did anything basically. We just had to take care of it after the report was done when we got home. So I had to call my son to take off work to come pick us up, which took him 3 hours to get there. We'd already been shopping all day, and then we had to drive back 3 hours. It was terrible. It was a terrible day. I lost my car. But my poor husband, that's all I can say. Because she caused it. She did. Because I stayed in there and I looked a little too long. And I found her. And then I continued to look to make sure I wanted her. And I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked. And then by the time we got out of the mall, car gone. So, yeah, he wasn't too pleased. He was not too pleased. But he really was more not pleased the fact that somebody stole my car, because that's something that you really don't expect to happen, right? So anyways, the drama that this bag caused was related to my car getting stolen. Sad day, beautiful handbag. Crazy thing, my car was white and the leather on this bag is white. So it will always remind me of my beautiful Hellcat in a bad way. Okay, so that's just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, we're going to move on. This bag, the Boy Chapeau Supplé. So let me tell you what drama she caused, okay? And also I need to point out, this is not the bag's fault. It's not. Not at all. Are these bags at fault? They're not. So they're just simply sitting on the shelves waiting for someone to buy them. So my husband was going to look at a car that he was possibly going to restore. And of course, I wanted to go to the mall in Houston. So we were at the Houston Galleria. And I went in there, and this was during Christmas time, during COVID. And it was back when things were back opened up, but you had to stand in the long lines. And also, the bags were very hard to get, and especially bags in canvas. They were really, really difficult to get back then. And by the way, I have 2 COVID stories, and I just want to say these are the least of a bad problem with COVID. This is just a fun video, okay, you guys? I really want you guys to know that. Like, I'm not at all being like serious, okay? It's just funny with some of these bags on how things came about. Okay, so back to my story. In the Houston Galleria, I'm shopping around, and I would already waited in the line for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. The line was extremely long after I went in, and I found this beauty. I had been wanting her anyways, and if you know me at all, then you know the monogram canvas in general are my favorite Louis Vuitton bags, along with empreinte leather. But my go-tos are really the canvas bags. So this was a bag, like I said, that I had wanted for a long time. Couldn't get my hands on it because I had started buying bags about a year and a half or so before COVID began. So anyways, I find this bag, about died because I was so happy, and I go check out, and the sweet little CA that was working there said, "I'm sorry, I can't sell you this bag." And I was like, "Well, why not?" And she was like, "Because you had already bought 6 items in 3 months." So a lot of the boutiques have a rule that you can't buy more than 6, I think it's leather and canvas items in 3 months. And once you do, I think you have to wait 3 months before you can buy again. I'm not real positive on that, but because the boutique that I go to, they don't stand by that rule. You can buy whatever you want, however much you want. But I do know it doesn't include jewelry or ready to wear or any of that stuff. So it's basically just like the handbags and SLGs, because they do count the SLGs as well. So I was confused because I had never heard that rule before. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I don't understand why it matters, you know, but I wasn't going to argue with that CA because, I mean, she's just doing her job, but I was just a bit confused. And so she's like, well, let me go get my manager and we can see what he will do. Manager came, rude as can be, you guys. He came over and he was like, ma'am, he's like, she explained to you the rules. He said, you've already bought your 6 items for the 3 months, so you cannot purchase that bag. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's fine. I was like, I'll just have my husband come in here and buy it. Okay. I'm thinking no big deal because my husband's in the mall, just not in the Louis Vuitton store, because typically he doesn't go in there because he hates it. He hates you guys. He does. Okay. So that manager was like, no, he can't buy it either because it's 6 items per family. And I was like, 6 items per family? I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I mean, I'm just shocked because I've never heard this before. And I was like, he can't come in here and buy this bag because I've already bought 6 items in 3 months. Anyways, blown away by that, but that's their rules. So there's not a whole lot I can do, right? Well, I asked him, I was like, well, what if, you know, this, considering it was Christmas, you guys, considering it was Christmas, I said, well, what if he was actually wanting to come in and buy his daughter a present? And I had nothing to do with that. Like, is that something he can do? Or is that still counted against us, even though our daughter lives in San Marcos, Texas? She had graduated high school and was in college. And he was like, oh, he was just so rude. It was more the fact of how rude he was than the rule that bothered me. And he was like, ma'am, he said, we have to stick by our rules because he said there could be several people looking around right now. And if they see you getting to buy something or your husband coming in and purchasing it for you, then they're going to want to do the same thing if they bought 6 items in 3 months. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting here thinking, there's so many people here. There's so many bags because let me remind you guys, during Christmas time, during COVID, they released tons, okay? And how I know is because I went like 3 or 4 times, okay? Right? Because I bought in 6 and 3 months, okay? And most of that was closer to Christmas, I guess, apparently. I don't know. I can't keep up. I can't. So, I can't remember either. It's just too long ago. It was a very traumatic event, okay? So, I sat there and I was like, please. I was like, I have wanted this bag for so long. I was like, what can I do to get it? And the manager was like, ma'am, he said, your husband can wait in line and come in and buy this bag. He said, but, he said, if I so much as see you talk to him, smile at him, look at him, then you will both be escorted out. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're talking about a handbag here. Like, is it that big of a deal? You know, I mean, to be so rude, I'm talking about, not the rules, just to be so rude. And he just had such a bad attitude. He really did. And so anyway, so I'm like, okay, I was in here, little me, I'm just sitting here, not little, but anywho, little old me just sitting here like, okay, you know, like, I don't want to like get in trouble, but I want the bag. So anyways, I text my husband. And also he did say this, the bag has to go back on the shelf. So if someone gets it, then I can't get it. So it had to be placed back on the shelf. Whatever. So text the husband and I said, come on in. Just tell the lady at the front that you got to come pay for a bag. So anyways, he was coming in. The manager walked off. Me being a smart aleck, looked at my husband from a little ways across the store. And I was like, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. And don't smile at me. Just come pay for the bag. And I can't tell you which bag, but you can talk to the SA and she can help you. And I'm saying this as he's off to the side because I can see him in the corner of my eye. Okay. And I'm saying this to him without looking at him. But I'm having to tell him what's going on because he's confused as heck. And so he was like, okay. He was like, what is going on? I'm like, don't talk to me. Under the manager's rules, we cannot be associating with each other at this time. I kind of felt like I was in like a drug deal gone wrong or something. I don't know. But anyway, so he was like, okay. Because the poor guy had no daggum idea what the heck was going on. Why I couldn't talk to him or smile or anything. So anyways, he gets the bag. He comes out with this weird look on his face. And he said, what on God's green earth happened in there? So I tell him the story and he's like, oh my God. He's like, did you really have to have the bag that bad? I can't help it. And I'm like, I had to. Like, it was hard to get these bags and I didn't know if I'd ever get her or not. I really wanted her. And I've used her so much. Anywho, he was like, oh my God. So poor guy, once again, carrying that Louis Vuitton sack for me. He's like, let's go. Let's just go. We're done. We're done shopping. We're gone. I was like, okay. That's it. We're going. So, anywho, she broke the rule. She broke the 6 and 3 months canvas / leather buying rule. Whatever it is. You guys can look it up. Y'all will see it. I'm sure it's still there. I've never been back. Nope. Because to me, customer service is extremely important. And that manager had talked to me in a polite way and treated me like an adult, then I would have acted like one. But come on, it was insane. I couldn't look at him or smile at him or anything. Like these people cared that were beside me, because I can tell you what, not one person was looking at this bag. Everybody was in their own world looking at all those other things. I mean, could somebody have came in later? Sure. But at that time, nobody was interested in this bag. Why do we have to go there? So rude. And so, so anyways, she's a problem causer. She caused drama for my husband. But we got her. I got her. Poor little old bag. I think she was even traumatized. Poor little thing. This bag. This one caused a little bit of drama. So, okay, let me tell you guys what happened with this one. I know this is going to be a lengthy video, but you guys, y'all got to hear these stories out, okay? So let me tell you guys what happened with this beautiful pink capucine with the scrunchy handle. So I bought her back in, I don't know, 2018, 2019 when she came out. I ended up sending it back to the store because I thought, do I really need this capucine? It was expensive. It's a little heavy. I can't wear it crossbody. So I sent it back, okay? Every day after that, I regretted sending this bag back because she is so beautiful. And let me put her up here close for you guys to see, like how beautiful she is. Just gorgeous. So I regretted this to the max. And like I said, this was way back when, okay, 2018, 2019. So I've looked for her many, many times on Fashion File because I knew when my SA from Miami at the time had sent me a picture of this bag, she told me that it was one of so many, and once it was gone, it was gone. Like they're not making any more. When I sent it back, I knew there was no chance of getting it back. So again, I checked Fashion File and they never had it available. And I was always hoping so bad that I could get this bag back. Well, the old COVID came around for my husband and I. It did. It was a terrible time. And this was last July. Yeah, not this past July, but the July before. So we're sick. We're laying in bed. It's not funny, but it's funny. My poor husband. Okay, I have a friend that's a bad influence. Amy from Amy Michelle Luxury. She's bad, you guys. She's bad. So we're sick. My husband's been running fever, sleeping. Basically, when he's sick, he just sleeps. Okay, that's what he does. When I'm sick, I cannot sleep. I'm up and down because I can't stand body aches. So I can't go to sleep with the body aches. All right, so my sweet friend Amy, she was searching Fashion File and she found this bag in brand new condition. She knew I had been wanting this bag, so she sent me a picture of it. She said, oh my gosh, she's like, I found the bag that you've been searching for years. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you did. I was like, I really don't want to spend the money on it, but I wanted it so bad. And she was like, look, you have COVID. You've been to the ER with severe dehydration, had 2 rounds of fluids. So we're just going to say the angels sent this bag to you. And I was like, yeah, that's a good one. Because I knew my husband would probably flip, okay? Because again, this bag was $5,000. I'm not proud of that number, but it is what it is. So I'm like tugging on my husband over on the side of the bed. He's sleeping. I'm like, hey, slightly tugging. By the way, slightly tugging, not pushing. Not like I'm doing right here, but just like tapping him. I was like, hey. I was like, Amy found the bag that I've been looking for, and she said it was a sign from the angels because I'm so sick. And he's like, like he's like I said, like I told you guys, he sleeps when he's sick, okay? So I'm like, is it okay if I get it? And he's like, So I take that as a yes. I mean, I couldn't understand what he was saying. I didn't want to wake him up because the poor guy was just sick. I mean, he had been running fever and had body aches, okay? And, you know, you don't want to mess with somebody when they're sick. So, but I had to ask him because we do run by any large purchase past each other. That's just something we do. So, I took the, as a yes. Okay. So, I buy the bag because, like I said, my friend Amy, she thought of me. She seen the bag and she said it was a sign that from the angels, okay? Disclaimer. Real quick, like, disclaimer. I believe in God. I am a Christian. No way on this God's green earth do I really think the angels sent a sign for me to buy a handbag, Okay, I just want to clear that up because it's all out of fun. I have to say this stuff, you guys, because of the comments that come in. Okay, so it was just a straight up joke between my friend Amy and I, because no way would I think the angels was sending me a sign of anything related to COVID in a handbag. All right, back to my story. So days go on, we get better, bag arrives. My husband's like, oh, what is that? And I was like, the bag that you said that I could get. I told you. My friend Amy saw it on Fashion File, and she said it was a sign from the angels, that the angels sent it my way for me, and so I needed to buy it. And you said, okay. And he was like, when did I say okay? I was like, in the bed. I was like, I nudged you and I asked you if I could get it, and you were like, He was like, because I was asleep. He was like, I was asleep. He was like, I was sick. He was like, how much did that cost? Okay. Anyways, long story short, he wasn't very happy. He didn't think it was a sign from the angels. He thought it was a bad influence on my friend's part and a bad decision that I made as well. But here she is. Here she is, so beautiful and pretty. I got her. He got over it. We moved on. We moved on past it, and I am very proud to have her. I was so very, very sick with COVID, you guys. I was very, very sick. I was. He was not as sick. He just, like I said, he had the fever and the body aches. He agreed to the bag. But anyhow, that's all he had. I was very sick. I had to go to the hospital twice with COVID because I was so dehydrated, and it was just bad. I was really, really sick. They almost admitted me, but they didn't. So this will always remind me of when I overcame COVID and my sweet friend Amy searched on that Fashion File and found this bag for me, and it just so happened to be at the perfect time because it lifted my spirits that day. No matter what he thought, it lifted my spirits, and I was so happy because I got to get her back, and I will never, ever, ever, ever let her go again. So the drama that she caused was when I mistakenly took for yes during a case of the COVID. My Capucine, you guys, in the bubblegum pink. Next bag, the Loop Hobo GM bag. Yes, I have put a different chain on here because I didn't like the chain that came on it. It's too short. It doesn't look right. Okay, so let me tell you guys what happened with this bag. She was a real drama causer. So we were in Cancun, Mexico, and usually when we go, which has been twice, anyways, I like to go to the luxury mall they have downtown Cancun. So we decided to go and get out during the day and do something different besides swim and all of that stuff. And the Louis Vuitton store down there is awesome. CAs, SAs, whichever one you want to call them, they were amazing. They are so nice and so helpful and love to help you buy things. So anyways, I had picked out 2 bags already because, listen why, you guys. Hang on. I know you are thinking, holy crap. But listen why, okay? You get your taxes back. So I like to take full advantage of that. So I will save money if I know I'm going to Cancun, or, well, that's the only place I've been. But if I'm going to another country where I can get tax back, then I will save and buy a few bags because it does save a whole lot of money. Okay, so this bag had not even came out yet, okay, in the US, that is. And let's move on with the story. Like I said, I found 2 other bags, okay, and a charm. So my husband pays or whatever. So whenever you buy, the person that pays is the only person that can get the tax back, okay? You could either get it from their place in their mall, or you could wait and get your tax money back at the airport. So we decided to do it at the mall because it's, you don't ever know how how things are going to go at an airport, right? It also takes a little bit of time to go through the process of getting the taxes back, because you have to fill out paperwork, you have to show where you're staying at the resort, and just all kinds of stuff, okay? So I asked my husband, I was like, do you care if I just stay here? Bad idea, you guys. Oh, Lord. But it was because my back hurt, you guys. So I was like, do you care if I just stay here, since you're the only one that can get the taxes back anyways because you paid? And he was like, well, yeah, whatever. I'm sure he was thinking, oh God, yes, stay here. I'm for real about my back, you guys. Like, it's bad, okay? So I just sat down in the chair, got on my phone because I was able to get Wi-Fi. It's free in the Louis Vuitton store in Mexico, if you're curious. Free Wi-Fi, okay? Anyway, so I'm just scrolling through Facebook, and I see them come sit out this bag. And like I said, this had not been released in the U.S. yet. And I see them set it up on the shelf, looking so beautiful, so beautiful. So there she was, all pretty, light shining down on her. She had her own spot. And I was like, oh, Lordy. Because if you guys recall, we had been waiting for this bag to come out. Handbag lovers, that is, okay? Louis Vuitton lovers, that is. So what did I do? I purchased the bag. I did. I purchased the bag. I didn't mean to. I thought long and hard about it, and I'm like, no. But I did. It was there. I couldn't leave it, you guys. I couldn't. So, and I was getting it cheaper too. Like, that's a big thing, okay? I would have bought this bag anyways. So I thought, why not go ahead and get it cheaper? So anyways, I called my husband and I said, hey, I was like, when I say you get the tax refund back, you don't get it at that moment. Like, I can't remember if they mail you a check or if they return it back to your debit card after so many days. I don't remember how it works, but you don't get it that moment, but they do give it back to you, okay? So, anywho, I called him and I said, have you already, like, got the taxes back on those bags? And he was like, what'd you do? And I was like, well, I kind of bought another one. And I was like, so if you haven't, like, I was going to come jump in line with you, and so I could get my taxes back on this one. And he's like, I'm already headed down. I was like, oh, okay. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, he probably was up there for an hour, okay? Because it takes a while, especially if there's other people in line. Of course, he didn't mind doing it. He didn't. He really did not mind doing that. But do you think he wanted to go back there? No, he did not want to go back. So I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, I'll just go. You take the cab on back to our resort, and then I'll catch another one when I'm done. And he's like, no, we're not doing that. And I'm like, okay, because I'm trying to think of any option here to make his life easier, you guys. His life easier. Okay? So I said, you know what? I'll just do it at the airport. When we get to the Mexico airport, I'll just do it there. And of course, I could just see the look on his face for the mere fact that I bought bag number 3. That was the thing, you guys, because I bought bag number 3. But I have heard of so many people doing this. Buy 2 or 3 bags because of how much you save on the taxes. So I didn't see where I was in the wrong. Okay, well, he did. He thought it was wrong. Of course, I got that normal look that, oh my God. So, you know, he's already carrying those sacks again that I just bought. So he's like, oh my God. So I said, and I said, also, I will carry my own sack. Ask me, that was a pretty darn good deal. We got over it. We made past it. We had a very fun time in Cancun, Mexico. When I got to the Mexico airport, I was the only one in line, and I got my refund back on the taxes. It all worked out perfectly fine. So the drama that she caused with my husband was that she was bag number 3 in one day. That's what she caused. And to be honest, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Okay, it's my Loop Hobo GM bag from Cancun, Mexico. problem causer, but she's here, you guys. She's here, and she's going nowhere. So let's move on. This one. Precious little sweet bum bag she is. She didn't cause a whole lot of drama, but it's just a funny story because, of course, I obviously wanted this bag, like who didn't, but I didn't pre-order this bag. I did not do that because I didn't know that I would like her so much. And then whenever she came in and I started watching videos, I was like, oh my gosh, like I missed this bag. I missed it. And I asked my SA and he said it was going to be really impossible to get at that time. So this was when they first released it, by the way, around when they first released it. So I was like, oh, I wanted her so bad. So as you all know, she is the mini bum bag. So I'm talking to my friend Amy on the phone, and I'm telling her about how Bella from Love My LVOE sourced this bag out for me. And yes, everything that she sources is authentic. And just in case you do not know and you want to go follow her over on Instagram, it's Love My LVOE. She's got over 60,000, 70,000, something like that followers. And she only buys authentic bags, and she will show you as many pictures as you want to authenticate them yourself. Just to put that out there for you guys so that you have no worries, okay? Because I've been buying from her for years. So anyways, so she was able to source this bag for me, and I was so happy. So I was telling my friend Amy on the phone, I was like, yes, I'm getting to get the mini bum bag. Well, my husband's over there in the bed watching the TV show, and he's eavesdropping, apparently. All he heard was a bum bag. And he knows that I have the World Tour bum bag because he bought me that for Christmas or my birthday, one of the two, because they're close together. And then he knew I had the black on prompt bum bag because Amy and I were discussing bum bags. So he looked over at me and he was like, how many bum bags do you actually need? And I looked at him and I was like, how many divorces do I actually need? Because I've done been through one. Do I need a second one? I would never divorce him. He was like, that was a little bit much, but carry on with your conversation. I was like, thank you, because you're eavesdropping in. Of course, I would have told him about the bag, okay? But he just had been working all day long, so, like, I didn't have time. But, you know, I was on the phone, and he eavesdropped, and he heard me. So it was just a funny story with him looking over at me, and he was like, how many bum bags do you actually need? And I was like, every one that they daggum made. I can't help it. Like, I love the bum bags. I love backpacks. I love speedies. I can't get enough of these types of bags. So anyways, she didn't cause a whole lot of drama. She didn't. But what drama she did cause was that my husband thought I had too many bum bags. And I don't. A little mini bum bag is here to stay. She's going nowhere. I love her so much. One of my favorite bags of all times, by the way. My next bag. My beautiful black side trunk bag. You guys probably remember me unboxing her just, I don't know, about a month or so ago. Gorgeous bag. I was wanting this bag ever since I got the brown one behind me and the monogram one. And when I actually got the brown one, I couldn't make up my mind at the time between the black one or the brown. And my SA told me that they were going to discontinue that color. Once they ran out, they weren't going to make any more. So if it were him, he would get that color and come back and get the black one later because they were going to continue to make the black one. So that's exactly what I did. So I came back and I bought it later. So I get the bag. I show you guys the bag on video. I did. There was one thing that I did not mention on the video. It had a spot right here that was indented. Okay, so no matter what I did, I could not get that leather to pop out. So I stuffed this bag for about 2 weeks and left it there to see if that dent would pop out. It never did pop out. So I sent the picture to my SA and he said, let's just order you another one. No problem there. Okay, there was no problem with that. So we order another one. By this time, here's where it gets bad. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Constellation bags or not, but they are basically solid black calfskin leather with looks like studs. And they are taking the studs and making the LV symbols and the LV out of these like studs, or I'm not real sure, okay, but I'm going to call them studs. They're gold. You guys will see them soon as people start buying these bags, okay? So anyways, I'd text my SA and I'd ask him if he had any of those bags in, and he said he did, and he said he had the Ivy bag in. So I told my husband, I said, let's just go on up. But oh, let me remind you guys, they had received this bag back. So my new bag had came back to the store. So that's why I asked my husband if we could go on up, because I wanted to get the Ivy bag that had just came out in the Constellation collection. So we go up, so he goes in, and I decided to sit in the car. I knew if I went in, I would be in there forever. So I just told my husband, I said, go in there, get my bag, which was this one. My SA was there, so he already knew that I wanted that Ivy bag. So it should have been an easy process, okay? Easy process. And by the way, I had done paid for the Ivy bag, okay? So all he had to do was pick them both up. So he comes out to the car, okay, about 30 minutes later. And of course, I wanted to check this bag and make sure there was no dent in it. And there was not. As you can see, it's beautiful. And then I wanted to look at the Ivy bag. So look at the Ivy bag. And y'all, I'm kid you not, hang on. This is the Ivy bag in the monogram. You see how this bag kind of droops just a little bit right there? No big deal at all. This bag looked like this. Like smashed, like so bad down, okay? The Constellation Ivy bag did. It was like horrible looking. I mean, I wouldn't have paid $100 for the bag. I'm not joking, because it was just smashed. And I thought, well, maybe, you know, I can push it up and it'll shape back up. It did not. So I sat there for a second because I told my husband, do not leave, because I'm not going home with a bag that costs this much and the bottom looks sagging this far down from the bag. No way. So I tried to like push it back up. It didn't work. I could tell there was no possible way this bag was going to shape up right. There was no way. So poor old Hubs, he was like, oh dear God, now what? What now? I said, well, we're going to go back in because I'm not going to go home and then come back. But we're already here, so I'm going to go back in and get a different bag. And if he has a different one, then I'll get that one or whatever. So my husband's like, oh, dear Lord, have mercy, God. Okay. And he's like, all right, let's go. Because remind you, he's been in there for 30 minutes. He hates the store. Okay. He doesn't like it. So I'm going to have him come on one day. So I go back into the store. I told my SA, I was like, look at this bag. And he's like, oh, yeah. I don't know if he had boxed the bag up for me or if they just setting it aside for me or whatever. But he was like, yeah, that looks pretty bad. So he went and brought me out other bags that were from that collection for me to look at. And the manager, she was a new manager actually, and she came over and I was talking to her and I was like, I didn't want any of them. I really just wanted it in the Ivy bag because when I first looked at the collection through the pictures that he sent me, that was the one that caught my eye. So I was like, I know I'm good. My husband's like, oh, good Lord. He's like, that means we got to look around. I was like, no, that means I'm going to look around. But anyways, I exchanged the Ivy bag for a different bag, but I just haven't shown it yet. So I'm not going to tell you guys what I got because I'll show that here in the next, I don't know, a couple weeks when I get around to doing the unboxing. But anywho, yeah. So it took me a while, it did, to find a different bag because like I said, when you're spending that kind of money, you want to make sure you're getting something that you're going to use. So was this my fault that the Ivy bag looked like the bottom was falling out? No, I would have went right on home with that bag. I didn't even ask him to go back in with me, but he chose to. So this beauty and her dent, she caused drama because she had a dent right there. Well, she doesn't. She's perfect. The other one had a dent right there. And the drama that it caused was that we stayed in the Louis Vuitton store way too long that day. But we made it to my daughter's pep rally, so I didn't miss it. because I wouldn't do that. So that is my video over the bags that cause drama. But so we've had some bad times with these bags, and we've had some good times. More good on my end, not so much on his. And he probably wishes I would sell every single one of them, but I'm not. I'm not going to, because this is my thing. This is what I enjoy. But all in all, you guys, he is a really great husband, and we're okay. We are totally okay. But yeah, some of these incidents were quite comical. You really would have to just been there to experience and see the look on his face every time I seen him walking out of the Louis Vuitton stores with those handbags and whatever had went wrong at the time. It cracks me up to think about it, because I'm thinking the poor guy, he doesn't even want to be here to begin with. So anywho, that is my video for today. And if you guys want to share your stories in the comments, go ahead. If you guys want to do this video, I tag you all. If you guys have had drama with anybody in your home over handbags, let me know, especially with the husbands, because for some reason the husbands seem to be the ones that don't really care for the bags too much. So yeah, you guys get in a video if y'all want. It'd be great to hear your stories. But anyways, also I was just going to say, if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And please also like and comment in my comment section below. I love hearing from you all. It makes my day to read your sweet comments. If you have anything negative to say, please say it somewhere else, not on my channel, because it will be deleted. So I appreciate you guys for watching. And if you stuck with me through this long of a video, I really appreciate it. Let me know if you did, you guys. Let me know if y'all stuck it out to the end, because it was definitely a lengthy video, but it was one I had to share with you guys. I had to. So yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to leave you, as I always do, with I hope you have a great morning, day, evening, or night, whatever the time of day it is that you're watching this. And for me, it is a good night. And I will see you guys back soon with another video. Bye.